Do you ever notice how Ranni the Witch expresses hesitation at the idea of getting married to the Tarnished? And to be perfectly clear, Ranni was technically the first one to propose, because she's the one who gave you the key to retrieve the Dark Moon Ring, and that's precisely the ring that you slip on her finger when you get married. Its item description tells us that it was designed to be used for exactly this purpose. But the funny thing is, the Dark Moon Ring also contains an engraving, and this engraving issues a command in the voice of Ranni herself. She tells us to leave the ring where we found it and not to marry her, because Ranni is destined for a life of solitude, and it would not behoove you to disturb it. And that's a really weird message for this ring to contain, partly because Ranni is the one who gave it to you, and partly because she's actually quite happy when you use it to swear your oath of marriage. So then what's going on with the engraving of the Dark Moon Ring? Why would it exist at all if Ranni actually does want to get married? I think that the answer to this question comes from an item called the Discarded Palace Key, which is actually the key that we use to unlock the chest where the Dark Moon Ring was originally hidden away. The description for this key tells us that Ranni once discarded it, or in other words, she threw it away under the belief that she would never have any use for it because she would never get married. And then here's the kicker, she threw this key away in the very moment when she discarded her original flesh. And of course this idea of Ranni discarding her flesh alludes to the fact that she no longer possesses a human body. She destroyed her original body as part of an effort to free herself from the tyranny of a god that wished to control her, and now her soul occupies the body of a doll. But the Discarded Palace Key tells us that Ranni's human body wasn't the only thing that she got rid of on that day. She also abandoned all hope in the idea of marriage, of companionship and love. And I think that Ranni must have seen the loss of her body as symbolic of a loss of her humanity more generally. And not only because it cut off the possibility of physical connection, but also because she had to commit certain morally heinous deeds in order to accomplish the ritual that separated her soul. And I think that all of this explains the reason why Ranni engraved a warning on the Dark Moon Ring that none should seek her hand in marriage. Ranni issued this warning because she felt that she had sacrificed her humanity, and she has thereby destined herself to a kind of untouchable solitude that spreads only the frost of misery to all who approach her. But that's also why it's so significant that Ranni gave you this ring in the first place, despite the engraving that she made many years ago. It signals a shift in her thinking, which you the Tarnished inspired, in which she has restored some hope that she might yet find a companion with whom to share her life. And I also think that these insights into Ranni's inner life can shed some light on one other curious detail from the cutscene where you give her the Dark Moon Ring and swear your oath of marriage. Ranni actually removed her witch's clothing for precisely this ceremony, and she thereby revealed the whole of her doll's body and the artificial cords and twine that have taken the place of her flesh. And I interpret this quasi-nudity as a gesture of vulnerability. It almost functions like a second warning that echoes the ideas engraved on the Dark Moon Ring. It reminds the Tarnished of Ranni's inhumanity, and it asks you if this is really something that you wish to embrace and to love.